Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well and enjoying this leadership series. In our seventh part today, we have Dr. Sanjay Kulkarni with us. He's joining us all the way from Kolhapur. Dr. Kulkarni has 25 years of experience in infection control, and he's also a leading microbiologist. So I thought, who better than him to speak to us about the COVID-19 issue? Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Chirag. Thanks for having me on your program and giving me the chance to connect with a wider audience and spread some positivity regarding this issue which is going on.
No, I think Dr. Saab, hats off to you. तुम्हाला माझा आदरणीय नमस्कार because तुम्ही आणि तुमची team, I'm sure all over the country, fellow professionals like yourself in the health fraternity are doing a fantastic job, and I'm grateful that you've taken out time in your schedule to join me.
Welcome.
Thank you. So, Dr. Saab, first question is that the obvious question. Today we are seeing a lot of rumors that are being spread across social media, WhatsApp. People are giving into information that is coming from all sorts of mediums, and they are not really trusting one solid medium. So what would your advice be to these people, and who would be the trusted sources of information that they should look upon?
Yeah, Chirag, that's a very good question because that's become a major problem now in this crisis.
Yeah.
We have lots of misinformation, misconceptions being spread. So first thing I would suggest to the audience is not to learn from WhatsApp University. So lot of false things are circulating. People are writing anything in their own minds. Most of it is unscientific, not thought out well.
Right.
And that leads to erroneous decisions and actions.
Right.
So we should look for our proper sources of information. So primarily in India, I would suggest going to the ICMR website and looking at their advisories. Second thing is the advisories which come out of the PMO office in Delhi.
Right.
So these two should be looked at mainly to confirm.
The ICMR is the Indian Council for Medical Research.
Of Medical Research, yes.
Okay.
So they put out regular advisories and all the updates are there on their website. Okay. In the international sources, I would suggest looking at the WHO website, that is who.int.
Okay.
And second one is the CDC, that is US apex body which does research and all the experiments in the US.
Right.
So it's a world-renowned body, one of the biggest lab in the world, and they have lot of useful information for patients and common people on their website.
Right.
So cdc.gov, that is the web address for this.
Right.
So primarily these four sites are what I would suggest where you get to information from.
Absolutely. Sir, I think it's important for, we as ordinary citizens also to question people as to what is the source of the information they are sharing rather than blindly trusting it,
Yes, we should avoid blind forwards.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is what is causing a major issue today.
Yeah. Sir, my second question to you was regarding the lockdown. People are, the $1 million question is that when is the lockdown going to be vacated? Is it going to be an endless way of life? Is it actually helping? Is it reducing the numbers? Can you please shed some light on that?
Yes. Lockdown is definitely helping to reduce the numbers. So I would strongly suggest that we follow all the lockdown measures. Okay. And the main way it is helping is to keep the number of cases under control so that our healthcare infrastructure is able to manage those patients. So if something like what happened in US and Italy happens in India, then we won't be able to handle all those cases and lot more people will die. So the main aim of the lockdown is to reduce the mortality, reduce the complications, and therefore everybody should follow those measures.
Right.
So here I would just like to say that we, in our thought process, we should think of it as a personal lockdown, not as a community lockdown. What am I going to do today? What am I going to go out? Where am I going? Why am I going? These are the things we should ask ourselves today and then follow the common sense things. Okay, rather than doing it at a group exercise. So I think that will help. And definitely lockdown is essential. It is going to be helpful.
So one more question on the lockdown was that there's clearly no sanctity as to the dates that have been coming out, because one date has moved to the other date, and people have this question in their mind, ki, is May 3rd the next yardstick? Is that going to be the next goal? On May 3rd, is the government going to extend it again for the next 15 days? So these question marks are still there in citizens' minds. Any thoughts on this, sir?
Yeah, definitely. Now, this is a fluid situation.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at microbiological science, when you put a new virus or a bacteria or a pathogen into a community, it keeps on circulating and causes disease until we develop herd immunity. So I think many people have heard about herd immunity on the TV and newspapers and everything.
Yeah.
So it takes time to develop that herd immunity. We cannot predict how long it will take in a given population. Okay. So lockdown dates will be depending on the situation at that point in time.
Right.
So there's no 100% formula to predict when we can stop the lockdown completely.
Right.
Second thing we have to keep in mind is we are talking about flattening the curve.
Yeah.
So when you flatten the curve, it elongates, which means, in other words, that cases will keep on happening for a longer period of time, but their numbers will be under control.
Right.
So if we manage to do that, then we'll be able to handle the situation much better. With less deaths and less mortality. The only you can say negative part is, since it's a new virus completely, people in the high risk groups, like very old age people, then people with any underlying conditions like uncontrolled diabetics or lung conditions, they are more at risk for complications. So this is a natural process which we cannot control 100%, and therefore we have to accept this. This is where it comes to philosophy. Okay. So this is something we have to accept as a nature's call.
Yeah.
We are used to having solutions for everything, 100% solutions for so many things today. This is one situation where you don't have a 100% solution. So this is something we have to accept and be steadfast in our this thing. We shouldn't panic.
Yeah.
Panic will only get us into worse conditions, make decisions wrong. Okay. So this is going to go on for a longer period of time. Lockdowns may continue in some areas. There may be staggered openings in some areas depending on how many cases are there.
Yeah.
So at an individual level, we have to have acceptance, and we should monitor what we ourselves are doing. That's what I would suggest.
Right. Sir, one more thing which has been a side effect of this, I don't know whether you've been seeing latest slogans. They're saying stay safe, stay sane. I think they're referring to the fact that there has been a huge adverse psychological impact on people because they're not used to, one, not having a solution to something like you rightly said, and two, being confined to their homes for such a long time. So suggestion people who are actually having a issue staying at home and they're going berserk.
Yeah, now it's natural because suddenly if your daily routine changes and you have to adapt to a new situation for a long time, say 3 weeks of lockdown, I daily go out to work and suddenly I have to stay at home. So it's difficult to adapt, and that is what causes anxiety. So we have to find new ways of adapting to this situation. That is the first thing. And there is no need to panic or take any stress. Okay? I suggest that whenever you feel stressed, look at the Western countries. We are doing much, much better than them, actually.
Yes.
And if we continue this, then definitely we'll be out of the woods. We have to write this out, of course.
Yeah.
There's no full stop. Like May 3rd, it is not going to stop. The virus is not going to go away, just like magic. It's going to there. But we can control it.
Right.
Okay. So I would suggest follow relaxation exercises, enjoy your hobbies, stay at home, and go out only for essential things.
Yeah.
That would be my suggestion.
A concluding question to you would be, overall, do you think India has done well in terms of the way we've managed things? Can you elaborate on that a bit?
Sure, definitely. As I said previously just now, we definitely are doing well, much better compared to the other countries, where despite having such a large population, we have managed to keep cases down. There is no sudden surge in the deaths. Mortality figures are well under control, and we are taking the right steps.
Right.
So I think we are doing quite well compared to the other countries.
But sir, one apprehension was that we don't have adequate testing that is happening to cover the entire mass of our population. Do you think that is a fair assessment?
Yes, testing right now is not uniformly across all the states, but the government is ramping up testing. Like if you see the figures, there several times it has increased. Yeah. There are practical issues like we have to get kids from abroad, we have to set up proper good quality laboratories. So those things takes time. But the way the speed with which they are working is very good.
Yeah.
In fact, now every medical college is now going to have a PCR laboratory where they can test the swabs.
Thank you, sir. It's been a privilege
Thank you.
talking to you,
Welcome.
and I'm honored to have you
Thank
on
you.
this series. Thank you so much once
Thank
again.
you, sir. Welcome. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much.